They lob it to Ryan Perez in the paint off a couple of screens.
Esquivel to Garcia. Off the deflection. Los Fresnos comes back and wins. Now Santa Maria will put up a three. Bang! Santa Maria!
Here's Warner. Here comes a headed jam. Counted for two.
Field. Adios! And the Falcons win on a walk-off.
And it's saved.
What a game. Smack to the left. That is gone.
Lob for Perez. That's my play. Off the backboard. Counted and a win. And a win. Ryan Perez wins the game for the Santa Rosa Warriors, and they go nuts. And why not? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Real Sports Live, and we are coming to you from Corpus Christi Ray High School. And I'm Mark Molina on the call for you here today, and we have some 15-5A district wrestling. The boys here today had the girls last night. We saw the King girls win the 15-5A district title, along with some other hardware. So we'll see what we got in store today. Nice crowd out here. And again, kudos to Corpus Christi ISD as they've done all season long. Social distancing in effect still with everybody here to watch the bouts here today.
Any of you have somebody at home that could not attend this live? If you go to riosportslive.com, it is streaming this tournament right here on YouTube. So if you have anybody at home that could not make it, riosportslive.com.
And thank everybody for the shout out here at the meet. RealSportsLive.com does have you guys covered. And we are working two mats here tonight. So just want to make sure everybody's aware of that. We're going to be working two mats for the very start here. And a couple of quarterfinal matches. We're going to have a couple of 126-pound bouts in the quarterfinals, getting things going today here. And on mat 1, we're going to have Victoria East and Victoria West doing battle here as Jose Orozco and Isaiah Longoria get ready to go. And over here on mat number 2, we're going to have Damien De Leon from Corpus Christi King taking on Brian Castaneda from Corpus Christi Ray. So make sure to keep it here. We are a couple of minutes away from the start of this, so we're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to be back with the start of the meet. Keep it here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Real Sports Live. We'll be back right after this.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown. And we are getting started here. So from Victoria West, we have Longoria and the VW in the black, and the red top Victoria East. with Jose Orozco, with the Titans going down the back of his wrestling gear. So it's a 2-1. A 2-3 now. And there's a takedown point for Longoria as he moves ahead 3-2 here. And over on mat number 2, we have De Leon taking on Castañeda. That match getting going. Looking on that one here. Corpus Christi Kings De Leon and Reyes Castañeda in white. And right now we have Castañeda with a 5-0 lead here on De Leon in points with about 40 seconds to go. We'll head back over here to mat 1 where we got Orozco and Longoria going at it. Orozco, Victoria East with a 5-3 lead and getting credited for a takedown a moment ago. And round 1 about to come to an end here for these two in the 126-pound quarterfinals. So we'll move back over to mat number 2. With De Leon and Castañeda, the last 13 or so seconds of their match. And it's been all Castañeda with a 5-0 advantage in points. As their first round is going to come to an end. And let's move back over to mat 1 here. It's early in round number 2. All squared in points at 5. And there's a takedown attempt there from Longoria. Longoria trying to get some positioning, but on top is Orozco. Orozco trying to lock in here and trying to get Longoria flipped. And we look back over here and we got Castañeda on top, and he's going to get the pin and the victory. And that's De Leon getting the victory over Castañeda. So De Leon advances into the semifinals, 126-pound division. And move back over here with this match in progress. Still squared at 5-5 for Orozco and Longoria. And Longoria here trying to maintain the top position. But Orozco trying to get on top here. And it looks like he has. And Longoria with the 7-6 advantage as he's got 2 points there for the takedown. And he's got the legs hooked. But Orozco dropping his weight there and trying to maintain the top position as he does here. And that's going to be the end of round number 2. And we're deadlocked here at 7. And move over to this mat. We had David Ramirez versus Viral Paleconda from King, and it's David Ramirez from CC Vets. now, Palaconda
and the on-deck wrestler. If you have
trying to be the aggressor, maintain the top position here. But back to his feet is Lamides. Let's move back over here to mat 1 in round 3, which has been a good match between Orozco and Longoria. And right now we're all squared at 9. With Longoria right now in the top position. And awarded 2 points is Longoria after that whistle. So 1 minute, 5 seconds here. So Longoria with an aggressive start early here on Orozco. Orozco going for the legs. And Longoria maintaining position on top. And over on the other match, Palaconda has defeated David Ramirez via pinfall. We keep it here. This is the 3rd round of this one. This has been a really close back and forth match as Palaconda heads to the semifinals, but we'll keep it here with this one. And it's going to be 2 mats for the first couple of rounds here, but following that, we're going to move over to 1 mat. And right here we have Orozco with the top position on Longoria, who's on his belly right now, and it's 11 all with just seconds to go here. And the late escape there from Victoria West Longoria. And they're going to give a point here late to Longoria, who leads 12-11. And the officials talking it out here. And the victory is going to go over to Isaiah Longoria, who's going to advance in the 126-pound weight class after a grueling quarterfinal match against Orozco. So looking over at this, we have Tobias Garcia versus Gabriel Garza. Tobias Garcia wearing the green of King, and Gabriel Garza, the blue of Corpus Christi Carroll, as they're dueling here in a 145-pound quarterfinal bout. And on mat 1, Nathan Grothman and Billy Flores. Grothman from Vets, Flores from Carroll. A couple of freshmen doing battle there in the 126-pound quarterfinals. We'll move over to that match shortly. But this match right now, near the end of round 1, 7 all in points here. And there's Garza on top of Garcia right here, trying to get him flipped over, getting into a near fall, and Garcia wisely back to his belly at the end of the round and get a late score there for Garza as he and an escape for Garcia. So 2-2 for points awarded there. It's 9 all at the end of round number 2. So here's Garza starting off aggressively here in this second round as he's trying to get Garcia over, and Garcia trying to hold his ground, but Garza getting some leverage, and he's just about got Garcia flipped over here. And there's a bridge there by Garcia as he almost had his shoulders down. The official trying to get in position. And Billy Flores has defeated Nathan Grothman over on mat number 1. So Flores gonna move on after gaining pinfall early in round 1. So that one went by quick. We got a competitive one right here on mat 2 we're gonna stick with. So Robert Gloria and Alejandro Dominguez take the mat over on mat 1. 138-pound quarterfinal bout about to get started over there. Right here we have Garcia and Garza duking it out. 145-pound quarterfinal bout here, with Gabriel Garza of Carroll holding a 13-11 advantage in the points. And here's Garcia trying to maintain this top position. And Garza gets out nicely there and gets to his feet and gets credit with that takedown. Nicely done there. And he's trying to get Garcia over. And he's getting scored for that 15-11. And trying to get Garcia's shoulders down. And Garcia near fall. Right here, shoulders down to the mat. And the referee's going to call the pin there as Garza defeats Garcia. And a really tough, grueling match here with 30 seconds to go in round number 2. So let's move over to Glory and Dominguez. Glory, Corpus Christi Kings Jr., Dominguez, a Moody Jr. So right now, scoreless bout. Between Dominguez in the blue and Glory in the King green. And takedown attempt there by Glory, and Dominguez on top of it. And Dominguez trying to get some leverage, maintaining the top spot, and Glory escapes, and now he gets on top. And Glory going for the legs, and Dominguez down to his bottom, and their takedown attempt scored over to Glory as he takes the advantage in points 2-0. And that's going to be the end of round 1 with Glory gaining a late advantage in points. Dominguez getting credited with 1 there towards the end of the round. Now let's head over here to the other mat as we got Abraham Aguirre taking on Matthew Medrano. Aguirre from Miller, Medrano from Corpus Christi Vets, and Aguirre right on top of Medrano here. This is a 170-pound quarterfinal matchup on mat number 2. And Aguirre trying to get Medrano over. And nearly does, but Medrano nicely turns over back to his belly. And aggressive Aguirre here. And Medrano trying to get position. And both these competitors working fast here. It's a 2-1 advantage in points to Aguirre. And there's a takedown attempt by Medrano. Aguirre all over it. And again, this is a 170-pound quarterfinal. Aguirre from Miller, Medrano from Vets. And that's going to be the end of round one. Aguirre with a 4-1 advantage in the points here. Let's head back over to mat one, where it's still 2-1 in favor of Glory over Moody's Dominguez. And Dominguez trying to hold this top position over on Glory. Glory trying to get some leverage, and he's going for the legs here of Dominguez. And Glory trying to hook those legs of Dominguez, and Dominguez right on top and trying to hook that back ankle of Glory. Dominguez trying to get some leverage to hold his ground there as he tries to flip Glory. And Glory trying to flip over, but Dominguez ends up on top, and Glory back with his back facing up, and both competitors back to their feet as round two going to expire. And it's a 3-1 lead for Glory over Dominguez in the points after 2 rounds. So let's move back over here to Aguirre and Medrano right now. Aguirre with a 4-1 advantage as he maintains this top position over Medrano. Aguirre a sophomore, Medrano a sophomore as well. And the match tied up over here, back on the 138 mat. And here's Glory bridging out of a pin attempt, and he gets back into a little bit of a safe zone position as Dominguez is taking the lead 5-3 here, picking up a couple of points in this third round. Has Dominguez. And Dominguez on top here, 5-3, and he maintains this top position on Glory. And a hook on around the neck. I believe that's going to be a point awarded to Glory. So it's now 5-4. And the bout tied up now at 5 apiece. The last 40 seconds. Dominguez on top here, and with the 7-5 advantage, last 15 seconds, Glory trying to get up to a base and make something happen here, but Dominguez has got him hooked as time's about to expire on this bout. And it looks like Dominguez is going to pick up the victory here in the quarterfinal match for the 138 weight class. So we'll move back here to mat number 2, and it's an 8-1 advantage for Aguirre over Medrano. Aguirre's been the aggressor here, but it's Medrano going for the legs. leads 10-1 here with about 30 seconds to go in round number 3. And here's a bridge by Medrano, but Aguirre's got him. And looking for the shoulder, and Medrano turns over on his belly. We're about 10 seconds to go, and it's a commanding 13-1 advantage here for Aguirre. And the final seconds ticking off of this. And that's going to be the whistle and the end of the bout. And it looks like Aguirre, Abraham Aguirre from Corpus Christi Miller, is going to defeat Matthew Medrano here. And he's going to move on in the 170-pound weight class over to the semifinals. And we're moving over here back to mat number 1. Where we have Jonathan Serpas against Ethan Stubblefield. Stubblefield, excuse me. Stubblefield from Corpus Christi King. Serpas from Corpus Christi Carroll. Serpas a senior. Stubblefield is sophomore out of King. And that's going to be the pinfall victory here for Stubblefield, who's going to move on to the 152-pound weight class over to the semifinal. And let's move back over to mat number 2, where we got John Bravo versus Eric Pinon. Bravo from Corpus Christi King and Pinon from Corpus Christi Veterans wearing the all blue. And this a 195 weight class bout between Bravo and Pinon. And over on the other mat, we're going to have Ernesto Mejia versus Eduardo Flores. Mejia, senior out of Miller, and Flores, so the senior out of King. We'll move over to that match momentarily, but right now, in the middle of round number 1, coming up on a minute to go here, between Bravo and Pinon. And there's an attempt by Pinon trying to go low. Bravo backstepping out of that one. And there's Bravo going low and Pinon right on top there. And Bravo back to his feet as this Pinon, as they look to lock up in a grapple here at center mat. Both deadlocked in here, and over in mat number 1, Mejia with a 2-0 lead in points over Flores. Right now we're in a dead heat in the last few seconds here of round number 1 between Pinon and Bravo, and round 1's going to end. So we'll go take a look at the 182-pound quarterfinal bout between Mejia and Flores. Semifinals coming up soon right after this. Coming up on mat 1, we're going to have Rojas from King taking on Hall from Corpus Christi Ray. And on mat number 2, we're going to have Wynn and Harridge. Win from King, Harridge from Corpus Christi Veterans. This is a 182-pound bout. And right now, it's a 5-0 lead for Ernesto Mejia, who's come out pretty aggressive and right here in the top position, trying to get Flores turned over, and nearly does here. Trying to get him turned over, at least to score a near fall. And this might be the opening Flores needs as he gets on. And that's the end of round number 1. He scores a reversal there. 5-2. And we have some lights going out. But move back over here to mat number 2 in the 195-pound bout between Bravo and Pinon. And right now, Bravo on top of Pinon. And Bravo trying to get position, trying to get some leverage, but Pinon trying to get back to a base here on all fours and get back to his feet. But Bravo all over it, but Pinon powers up and Bravo takes down again. And Bravo's got him locked in. Mejia and Flores over on mat 1. They're trying to get the ankle straps, the red and green, that distinguishes color, fixed on one of the competitors right here. We're going to get a whistle with about 40 seconds left in this bout. We're going to score a point over to Bravo. So we're going to get into start position. Bravo on the top, Pinon on the bottom, and Bravo trying to stay on top of Pinon. Pinon's powered out and gotten back to his feet a couple of times. Does so again quickly here, but Bravo back down to the mat. And Bravo just so strong, but as is Pinon, and he's quick, but Bravo just trying to maintain position here and keep Pinon grounded on his belly and trying to make an effort to flip him over as we're running down the last couple of seconds of this bout. And Pinon just trying to maintain position on his belly over the last couple of seconds, and Bravo tried to get him over, but Bravo with a 1-0 lead in the points. Let's check in on mat 1 really quick. We're at the 7-2 advantage here for Mejia. He's been the aggressor in this 182-pound quarterfinal bout. All right, now Flores turns over and he's going to bridge out of a pin attempt here and get 2 more points credited over to Mejia. As the lights coming back on here in the Corpus Christi Ray Gymnasium. Right now Flores trying to get over. Get to a base, but time is going to run out in round number 2, and it's a 9-2 lead for Mejia over Flores heading into round number 3. And speaking of round number 3, we're over to a minute and a half, and right now it's a 3-1 lead for Bravo over Pinon. Bravo's just been all over Pinon, who can't seem to stay on his feet. He's gotten back a couple of different times, but just hasn't been able to stay there, and Bravo just quick to take him back down to the mat. Only scored 3 points, but then he's going to flip Pinon over. Pinon getting into a bridge, trying to get his shoulder up, and we're going to get a near fall scored over here for Bravo. And Pinon is going to get pinned, and Bravo going to pick up the pinfall victory in a 195-pound quarterfinal bout. And the score doesn't really show much, but Bravo, just the aggressor, has really was able to hold Pinon down and out of his game. So Bravo, John Bravo, going to move on here for Corpus Christi King into the semifinals. So back over to mat 1 here. 9-2 lead for Mejia over Flores as we start round number 3. Up next on mat number 2, we're going to have a quarterfinal 220-pound bout. Rayshawn Wynn versus Reagan Harridge. As we have Mejia trying to get some position on top of Flores here. At least keep him grounded. He's got a 7-point advantage in the points. 9-2. Now Flores trying to get back to his feet. Gotten back to a base, nearly gets up there, but Mejia. Nice escape there by Flores. As both competitors get to their feet, and they're going to score a point over to Flores. Still 9-3 advantage for Mejia. And both competitors locking up here. And we're inside of a minute to go, coming up on 50 seconds. And Mejia with a comfortable lead, and he's trying to get Flores back down to the mat. And Flores trying to hook that leg of Mejia. And he gets up trying to get position, but Mejia maintaining position on top here. And he's trying to get him down, and a bridge and a flip over by Flores gets him back to his belly. But Mejia, well in control, he scores another couple of points there on the near fall. And coming up on 20 seconds left in this bout, Mejia trying to get Flores flipped over. It does, with Flores in that bridge. Flores keeping the bridge. And Flores trying to bridge out. And Mejia trying to get that shoulder down. And he does, and he's going to get the pinfall with just 7 seconds to spare in round number 3. And Mejia is going to win this 182-pound quarterfinal bout. And let's move over to mat 2, where we have Wynn taking on Harridge. Round number 1, 220-pound quarterfinal. Wynn out of Corpus Christi King, the senior, and Harridge out of a junior from Corpus Christi Vets. And Wynn trying to get Harridge down for a near fall. Harridge trying to bridge out, but Wynn in good position here. And Harridge in trouble, and Wynn is going to secure the pinfall victory here early. And Wynn with the quarterfinal victory in the 220-pound division over Harridge. So Rashawn Wynn moving on. And let's move over to the 113-pound semifinal match here. We got Benjamin Rojas taking on Tyler Hall. Hall, the Ray sophomore, Rojas, the King sophomore. And 2 points here scored early to Rojas, but here's Hall trying to get Rojas over, and they're going to score a near fall over to Hall. A couple of points scored there, so he's now leading 4-2. And we're going to call, it looks like might have some blood. And it looks like we do, so move away while Rojas gets fixed up, and let's move over to mat number 2 while they take care of this. And we have James Garza out of Victoria West taking on Santiago Gonzalez from Corpus Christi Carroll. Gonzalez the junior, Garza sophomore. This is a 220-pound quarterfinal. The last of the quarterfinal bouts, I believe. Looks like all semifinals coming up. As mat 2, we have Flores, Juarez, 120-pound semifinal coming up on this mat. And we are into the semifinals over on mat number 1. So we're getting the mat number 1 cleaned up. I believe we had bleeding in one of the competitors. Might have took a shot to the face. But seems to be okay. Just trying to make sure he's cleaned up and everybody's safe. And safety first here, especially when you're in such a physical setting here on these district wrestling tournaments. A lot of good competitors here, and right now it's 2-1. Here on mat number 2, Gonzalez over Garza. So we're all square 2-2 here. 220-pound quarterfinal. Like I said, last quarterfinal bout, I believe. We're all semifinals from here on out. And this is the 12th bout so far. And we're going to get point awarded over to Garza. I believe Gonzalez locking his fingers around the head and neck region. So if you guys are watching this here on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, wherever you guys are doing social media, make sure to go give us a like, give us a share, tell people that you're watching. And let them know where they can find this link here. I want to appreciate Corpus Christi Independent School District for hosting us, just like they've done all season long. And let's look over here. Back on mat number 1 as Rojas and Hall back to it. Hall with a 4-2 advantage in the points on Rojas, and Rojas back on the mat and competing. Looks like he was banged up, might have taken a shot to the face. But he's all raring and ready to go now as Hall on top of him here. And Rojas trying to get back to his feet, but Hall right on him, and he's going to pick him up and down. Goes to the ground with him. Coming up on 15 seconds to go here in round number 1. And it's a 4-2 advantage for Hall. And he's rolling around on the mat there with Rojas, and Rojas back down on his belly. And Hall in position here, and that's going to end the first round here. Hall over Rojas right now, 4-2. And let's move back over here to Garza and Gonzalez. Deadlocked at 4 apiece, and we're nearing the end of round number 2. Gonzalez and Garza trying to lock up here. And Gonzalez got Garza backpedaling here. And we're in a dead heat here, and both competitors pushing the other around. And we're going to have the end of round number 2. And let's move back over here to the 113 bout going on, the semifinal between Rojas and Hall. And right now it's Hall with a 6-3 advantage, and Hall going for the legs of Rojas, and Rojas back on his belly, and it's going to be a takedown for Hall. So Hall with an 8-3 advantage here in the points. Inside of 50 seconds to go in round number 2 here. This is the 113-pound weight class. And semifinal bout. And Hall in the top position here over Rojas, and we are inside of 20 seconds. Rojas trying to get back to his feet here. And Hall maintains position. Whistle blown with 5 seconds. And there's going to be points awarded, I believe, to Rojas, as Hall might have locked fingers. So 6 seconds to go here. We're going to have a restart. So Hall top position here over Rojas. And trying to flip him over. And Rojas, now Rojas on top here. And that's going to be the end of the bout. I mean the round. So one more round coming up here. Hall with an 8-4 advantage. And let's move over here to the second mat, 220-pound Gonzalez taking on Garza. Gonzalez from Corpus Christi Carroll. Garza from Victoria West, 220-pound quarterfinal. Last of the quarterfinal matches, I believe. And right now it's a 4-4 match with a minute to go here. And Garza, now the aggressor here on this top position. Now Garza, now he's the aggressor, trying to give chase to Gonzalez. And these two guys locking up. Gonzalez scored a point. Last 20 seconds here. It's a Gonzalez advantage over Garza, 5-4. And we got Rojas and Hall. Things heating up on the other mat. Rojas closing the gap. It's 8-6 over there. And we're down to the last few seconds here. And it looks like Garza trying to get a takedown and a score late, but that's going to be the whistle. And it looks like Gonzalez is going to secure the victory here. So Gonzalez moves on to the semifinals in the 220-pound weight class. And it's 8-6 here in the 113-pound semifinal with Rojas taking on Hall. So we're in the start position here, and Rojas trying to be aggressive here in the last minute to try to see if he can swoop in, get the point he needs, or maybe score a pinfall when we're at 50 seconds here. Hall's been in control for a majority of this bout here, but Rojas coming on, and here's Rojas trying to get Hall flipped over. Hall trying to get back to his feet, and Rojas not allowing it here. And Rojas trying to get him over. And a reversal here from Hall is going to score him 2 points. And Hall trying to get Rojas down, and Rojas trying to bridge out of it. And a late spurt here in the round by Hall is going to secure him victory as the seconds are going to tick off here. And a really hard-fought bout. Rojas coming on a little bit late, but Hall with the late surge. and a late reversal and a near fall to get the points he needed in a 13-6 victory when it's all said and done. So it was 8-6 and then 5 points from Hall late. Hall gets the reversal and a 3-point near fall. And this over to this new mat here, mat number 2, and 125-pound semifinal. We have Jason Flores taking on David Juarez. Juarez out of King, Flores out of Ray. And it's a 6-1 lead for Juarez right now. And that's the end of round number 1 for them. Right now, commanding lead for David Juarez over Jason Flores. And Juarez has definitely been the aggressor over through that first round. And Flores in a bad way here, and he's going to get pinned as Juarez is going to end the bout here, and he'll move on to the finals in the 120-pound weight class. David Juarez. And moving over here, 120-pound weight class. Ramon from Moody, Flores out of Carroll. James Ramon versus Nicholas Flores. £120 semifinal, and right now it's Ramon with a 4-1 advantage in the points. Near the end of round 1, 40 seconds to go. Right here. The end of the first round, and it's a 9-1 lead. A late points scored there by Ramon over Flores here in this 120-pound semifinal match. And over on mat number 2, we got Zachary Richmond over taking on Marcos Davino. Richmond from Vets, Davino from Carroll. We'll move over to that bout here momentarily, but right now we're watching Ramon from Moody taking on Flores from Carroll. 120-pound semifinal. Big lead early on here for Ramon, and Ramon definitely the aggressor as he's trying to get position here, as he's trying to flip Flores. Ramon the junior, Flores the freshman. And then Ramon trying every which way to get Flores flipped over, and Flores trying to get back to his feet here. And another couple of points on the takedown there for Ramon. And it's an 11-1 commanding lead for Ramon right now. And Flores in a bad way here, as his shoulders nearing the mat. And Ramon in good position. Who's going to score the pinfall there? And Ramon moves on to the 120-pound weight class championship match. James Ramon out of Moody wins here by pinfall. And we'll move over here to this mat. Richmond taking on Trevino. And it's a Trevino lead, 2-1. And Trevino here on top of Richmond, trying to get him flipped over. And Richmond trying to get back to his belly as his shoulders nearly down here. And Trevino trying to score a pinfall here. And he's going to score a 3-point near fall towards the end of the round here. So the advantage is 5-1 for Trevino. Here in round 2, and early on, and Trevino the sophomore taking on Richmond the sophomore. Trevino from Carroll. Richmond the representative of Corpus Christi Vets here in the 138-pound semifinal matchup. Trevino up 7-1 here, and he's trying to get Richmond over. And 43 seconds left here in this second round. And trying to get the shoulders down. And Trevino has got a good lock over the shoulder and between the legs. Trying to get those shoulders down here of Richmond. And Trevino been working on it here for a few seconds, and there's 15 left in this second round. And that's how this second round's gonna end. And it's a 10-1 advantage in points for Trevino over Richmond here in this 138-pound semifinal bout. Start of round 3 here for these two as they go to the far end of the mat. So we have Dallas Flores and Jackson Bloom over on mat number 1, starting the 132-pound semifinal. For this match between Richmond and Trevino in the late stages, and with a minute 42 to go in round number 3. But it's Trevino maintaining a 9-point advantage, 10-1 in points. And right now Richmond with the top position on Trevino, and Trevino trying to get up and does. And nice reversal there, scored by Trevino. And Trevino trying to get Richmond down. And Trevino trying to get that leg hooked and get Richmond over. And Richmond back to his belly, but Trevino once again over. And Richmond back to his belly, but Trevino's got the arm hooked around the leg and his right arm hooked. One on the leg and one around the neck. 40 seconds to go here in this bout. And Trevino trying to keep Richmond down. Richmond back to his feet. Trevino. And here's Richmond. Going to score a couple of points there on the reversal. And it's 12-3. Trevino in front. And we're down to the last 14 seconds of this bout. And that's going to do it here for round number 3. That's Trevino with a 12-3 victory in points in 3 rounds. And he's going to move on to the 138-pound final. So let's move back over to mat 1. What we got going on over here, Dallas Flores over Jackson Bloom. And Bloom on top of Flores here, 7-1. You gotta look at the score on the clock there on your bottom right-hand corner. Coming up on, we're inside of a minute now in round number 2. And Bloom trying to get in position here. And scoring the near fall here. 3-point near fall there. And Flores down on the shoulder trying to bridge, and that's going to be a pinfall victory for Bloom in the 132-pound semifinal. And he's headed over to the finals as he defeats Dallas Flores. So Jackson Bloom moving on with the second round pinfall victory over Dallas Flores. With just about under 30 seconds left in that second round. So I'll move over to mat number 2, where we got Jeremiah Arredondo taking on Isaiah Longoria in the 126-pound semifinal. It's an early 2-0 lead for Arredondo, who's going to score the pinfall here over Longoria here in the early parts of round number 1. So Arredondo making quick work in the 126-pound semifinal. He'll move on to the finals now. And over to mat number 1, where we have Damien De Leon taking on Billy Flores in the 126-pound semifinal. To winner, you're going to meet Jeremiah Arredondo, who just took down Isaiah Longoria. So as we're readying things here on the mats. So with that, we're going to have consolation rounds number 1 coming up here after this 126-pound semifinal bout, we're going to have Castañeda taking on Grothman in consolation round number 1. So over to mat number 2 right now, where we got a match going on. As we have Gutierrez taking on Zamaron, 145-pound semifinal. Damien Gutierrez, Isaiah Zamaron. Gutierrez from Ray, Zamaron out of Moody. And right now Gutierrez on top with a takedown. Scored. 2-0 advantage in the points. And Gutierrez, the definite aggressor here, as we're inside of a minute here in the opening round of this 145-pound semifinal bout. And Gutierrez trying to get Zamaron over, nearly does here. And Gutierrez with good leverage as he's got his feet out wide behind him. And that's going to be the end of round 1 right here as Gutierrez leads Zamaron in points 2-0. And let's move over here to the 126-pound semifinal between De Leon and Flores. Damon De Leon taking on Billy Flores. And we are about 20 seconds left here in this first round. And that's the end of round number 1 here with the 2-1 lead for Flores, the freshman out of Carroll, over De Leon, the sophomore out of King. And let's move back over here to mat number 2 with Gutierrez and Zamaron, the 145-pound semifinal. Gutierrez, 2-0 advantage in the points. And Zamaron reaching low for the leg, trying to get in position for a takedown, but Gutierrez making it difficult here as he breaks away, and here they are back in the grapple in the center of the mat. Inside of 50 seconds left in round number 2. And there's a leg takedown attempt by Zamaron. He's got the leg of Gutierrez. Gutierrez trying to get away here. And 2 points scored to Zamaron to tie things up as they roll out. And going back here to the center. So here we are back to the start. We are in round number 3 here between these two, and we're deadlocked at 2 points apiece. And Gutierrez trying to get on the top position, and Zamaron with the reversal scores a couple of points, and he's now in the lead. And Zamaron aggressive now. He's got Gutierrez all wrapped up, and he gets into that top position. And another couple of points scored. It's now a 7-2 advantage here for Zamaron. Scoring a near fall. Zamaron on top. Coming up on a minute to go, and he's got a 5-point advantage over Gutierrez here. This the 145-pound semifinal. And Zamaron's got the neck and the leg hooked here. As Gutierrez trying to find some way to power out, but he's all locked up here. And a near fall there. And a reversal score to Gutierrez. So Zamaron gets the points for the near fall, and Gutierrez for the reversal. And it's still a 5-point advantage, 9-4 for Zamaron over Gutierrez. Gutierrez getting the top position on Zamaron now, trying to flip him over, and does, getting the near fall here. And the pin there. As Gutierrez pins Zamaron. Down 5 points here late with just 2 seconds to go on the clock. Scores the pinfall and the victory over Zamaron. So Gutierrez moving on to the final in the 145-pound weight class. So let's move over here. Also round number 3, a minute to go. And we have De Leon over Flores, 7-3 in the points. And De Leon trying to maintain here in the last 40 some odd seconds. He's got Flores wrapped up. And we got a point scored over to Flores. 1 point each. So 24 seconds, and it's a 7-4 advantage here for De Leon over Flores. Now Flores aggressive here, and we're going to get a whistle. And it's 7-5. Flores has 12 seconds to try to make up points here. And Flores going for the takedown, but De Leon right on top. And it looks like he's going to maintain here. And it's going to be De Leon from King defeating Flores via points. And he'll move on to the final as he defeats Flores. So Damien De Leon over Billy Flores, 7-5, and he's headed to the 126-pound final bout. So let's move over back to mat number 2, where we have Roman Corona against Gabriel Garza in the 145 semifinal. And it's a 4-1 advantage for Corona. And a nice takedown there by Corona, who's going to score another 2 points, and it's 6-2. Here in the halfway mark of round number 1. And there's a pinfall victory for Corona. As Garza was trying to bridge out of it, but just could not there. And Corona secures a spot in the 145-pound final. So back over to mat number 1, where we have Brian Castañeda and Nathan Grothman. Consolation round in the 126-pound division. And it's a 5-0 lead for Grothman here. Midway through round number 1. Get a reversal scored here. Over to Castañeda. That's 5-2. And here's Grothman on top, scores a takedown, couple points there. And the shoulders reaching the mat for Castañeda. We're going to get a near fall scored by Grothman as time runs out in round number 1. And it stands after that near fall 10-2. Grothman from Vets in front of Castañeda from Ray. And let's move over to the semifinal. We're going to keep it here in 145-pound semifinal. Consolation round going on in mat 1, so we'll keep it over here. And we are in round number 1 of this. This is mat number 2, so 152-pound semifinal. Hobart from Veterans taking on Mendoza from Ray. Asher Hobart, Damien Mendoza. The names. And right now it's a 2-0 lead in the points for Mendoza over Hobart. But Hobart right here with the top position. And a nice reversal there by Mendoza. Even things up at 2-2. And Hobart and Castañeda scored a pinfall over Grothman. Despite trailing 10-2, Castañeda picks up the pinfall victory in round number 2, I believe, over in that consolation bout. So we're done with round number 1 here, and it's a Mendoza advantage over Hobart, 3-2. So over in the 132-pound semifinal, Lobato versus Palaconda, coming up to mat number 1. So move over to that one here momentarily. But right now, Hobart and Mendoza going at it, with Hobart leading Mendoza 3-2. Mendoza going for the legs, but Hobart on top of things. Hobart the senior, Mendoza the junior from Ray. And over, we have Lovato really close to a pinfall here. Palanconda trying the bridge. And a pinfall victory for Lovato. And he'll move on to the 132-pound final. And let's move back over here. Hobart on top of Mendoza is trying to get back to his feet. And Hobart getting position here and trying to get Mendoza down. And Mendoza trying to escape here. And it's a 5-2 advantage for Hobart over Mendoza. Hobart just relentlessly on top of Mendoza here. Hobart trying to get that cross face and hook that back leg. As round 2 about to expire here, and Hobart on top 5-2. Over in mat number 1, we got Trevino and Stubblefield. Trevino from Victoria East, Stubblefield from King. That's the 152-pound semifinal. Going on over here, Trevino with the 2-0 lead on top of Stubblefield, and we're early in round number 1 here. So it's Giovanni Trevino versus Ethan Stubblefield. So we'll leave this one here and we'll go over back to mat number 2. We had a good one going on between Hobart and Mendoza. And Hobart getting Mendoza near the mat. Mendoza trying to bridge out. And Hobart in good positions, got that leg hooked. And there's the pinfall by Hobart, who defeats Mendoza in the 152-pound semifinal. He'll be moving on to the 152-pound finals. So we'll move back over here with Trevino and Stubblefield. And Trevino going for the legs of Stubblefield. Trevino up 4-1 over Stubblefield, and Trevino on this top position as round 1 about to expire. And does. And it's a 4-1 lead for Trevino over Stubblefield. Headed to the second round here, the 152-pound semifinal. And ladies and gentlemen, we've been on the air for an hour and a half. We need to take a commercial break here. So we'll be back to the action right after this. Keep it here. This is Real Sports Live.
COVID-19 hit, we saw that there was quite a decrease in our sales. We had heard from another business that EDC was helping people with grants. And so we decided to give it a shot, and we were accepted. I would encourage you to contact the EDC and see if you qualify for one of these grants.
America has one army, but we have many soldiers. From the infantrymen and women who guard our nation, to the photographers that document our history, there are over 150 paths to service. Which path will you take?
And he throws it down. Hey! See you later, touchdown.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
And we're back in the 160-pound semifinal. On mat 2, we had Joel Davis defeat Jeremy De La Paz. Davis from Veds, De La Paz from Carroll. So right here we have Trevino with a 9-1 advantage, and we are seconds left in round number 2. And time's going to expire in round number 2. 9-1 advantage in the points for Trevino over Stubblefield. And over in the 160-pound semifinal on mat number 2, Maddox Leaguer versus Cole Ramirez. Leaguer from King, Ramirez from Ray. And just getting going in this bout right here. And we're deadlocked here, about a minute through the first round. And Leaguer and Ramirez still deadlocked at 0. Both going to the ground here. Over on the other mat, we still have Trevino all over Stubblefield. And Stubblefield trying to get in that top position over on mat 2. And we'll move over here, as that's in round number 3. But a commanding lead for Trevino, 11-3. But Stubblefield trying to come on strong here and sneak away with the victory, maybe. He's got 55 seconds to work, and he's got Trevino in a bad spot here. But Stubblefield maintaining position here. Got a leg scissors across the body. Just trying to get Trevino over, and Trevino back up to his feet. Trying to get Stubblefield, and he gets him down for the pinfall. What a finish there. Stubblefield getting aggressive there towards the end, but able to get to his feet was Trevino and force a pinfall. Got Stubblefield on his shoulders there. And we're still deadlocked here between Leaguer and Ramirez. About 30 seconds into round number 2. Neither scoring points. And Gonzalez from King taking on Aguirre in the 170-pound semifinal. Aaron Gonzalez, Abraham Aguirre. We'll show you that match here in a little bit, as that one has just gotten started over on mat number 1. But here we are in round 2, and a point being scored over to Leaguer. Leaguer, 160-pound division. He's a freshman, so is Ramirez. A couple of freshmen doing battle here in this 160 semifinal. Liger wrapping up Ramirez here. Ramirez trying to go for the legs. And Ramirez, top of Liger here, and he's got a 2-1 advantage. And we're going to get the whistle blowing in the end of round number 2. So let's switch gears over to Gonzalez. We're in the green of King against Aguirre. We're in the purple and gold of Miller. 170-pound semifinal. It's a 2-0 advantage for King over Aguirre, but here's Aguirre in this top position, trying to hook that back ankle. And here's Gonzalez wrapping up a leg of Aguirre, and Aguirre scores a late couple of points there, so it's squared away at 2 here heading into the second round. Over here we have Liger and Ramirez in the 160-pound semifinal. Starting round number 3, and we're into round 2 here in the early stages, so we'll take you over to this mat. Start of round 3, Liger versus Ramirez, and it's Ramirez with the 2-1 advantage in the points, and a takedown there. And Ramirez now up by 3, 4-1, with a minute and a half to go in this 160-pound semifinal. And Ramirez has Liger down, and Liger trying to bridge. He's trying to keep that shoulder off. Official in position. And the pinfall going to go over to Ramirez, as he's going to defeat Liger in the 160-pound semifinal. He'll move on to the finals now. And over here to mat number 1, we've got Gonzalez on top of Aguirre. And the points in literally here. Last 40 seconds or so of round number 2. This is the 170-pound semifinal. And Gonzalez trying to maintain position. Aguirre trying to turn over, and he's on his shoulders, and Gonzalez is going to score the pinfall. And Gonzalez moving on to the 170-pound final as he defeats Aguirre here in the semifinals. Now let's move over to mat number 2, 182-pound semifinal match going on. Adrian Rivera versus Ernesto Mejia Mejia from Miller Rivera from Vets. Over on mat 1, Caleb Cruz against Damien Guevara in the 170-pound semifinal. The winner going to meet Gonzalez from King. That's Cruz versus Guevara. Victoria West, Guevara. And Corpus Christi Reyes, Cruz. And right here we have Mejia and Rivera. And Mejia trying to bridge here, but he's in that pinning predicament. And Rivera trying to get him down, but Mejia turns over. And Rivera trying to get Mejia turned around again. And Mejia trying to bridge out here. And the pinfall going to be scored by Rivera. He'll move on to the 182-pound final. And over here, midway through the first round, between Cruz and Guevara. And right now it's Cruz of Corpus Christi Rey with a 2-0 lead in the points. So Cruz staying on top of Guevara here. Trying to lock over the shoulder and the leg at the same time and get him over. Nearly does there, but slips. So he has his head in position in that midsection. Over on mat number 2, Wyatt Mikan and George De Los Santos. Mikan out of Victoria West, De Los Santos out of Corpus Christi Rey. That's a 182-pound semifinal. And here we are in the 170 semifinals between Cruz and Guevara. And that's going to be the end of round number 1. So move you over to Mikan and De Los Santos here. De Los Santos leading over Mikan. 2-0 here early in round number 1, getting about the midway point. This is the 182-pound semifinal. And De Los Santos trying to maintain that top position over Mikan. And De Los Santos got Mikan hooked. Here's De Los Santos. And after round number 1, holds a slight 2-0 advantage over Mikan from Victoria West in the 182-pound semifinal. And let's move over back up to the 170 bout between Cruz and Guevara. Right now, Cruz with the 4-2 advantage over Guevara. And we're going to get a pinfall victory here. And it's going to be Guevara of Victoria West. So let's move over here. We're going to get a pinfall victory from De Los Santos. So let's move over right here, and on mat number 1, with Caleb. Looks like we got Bravo versus Valenzuela. Bravo, the King Green, and Valenzuela and Carroll, blue. So right here, it's a 2-0 lead for Valenzuela over Bravo. And we're through round 1, so let's move over here to mat number 2. We have Jonathan Flores over Nathan Luca. Oh, it's Luca with the 2-0 advantage here over Flores. Actually, it's not Luca, that's Loose. Excuse me, there is Loose trying to get Flores over. This is the 195-pound semifinal. Now let's move back over here to this other mat between Valenzuela and Bravo. Valenzuela nearly flipping Bravo over, and this is the 195-pound semifinal. We're in the second round here, and this is the 195 semifinal. 195 semifinals both going on right now between Valenzuela and Bravo here, and Luz and Flores on the other mat. So point scored over here to Bravo, but it's Valenzuela with the 5-1 advantage. So we're inside of a minute here in this 195 semifinal between Valenzuela and Bravo. Valenzuela, 5-1 advantage here. And Valenzuela on top of Bravo. And he's locked him in and he's got him to the mat. Bravo flips over to his belly. And Valenzuela with a 7-1 advantage here. And we're in the waning moments of round number 2, inside of 10 seconds now. And Valenzuela has Bravo down, and the pinfall, beating out the timer with just 2 seconds left here in round number 2. Another pinfall over to Valenzuela, and he's going to move on to the 195-pound semifinal, taking on the winner of this bout going on right here, Flores against Luz. And right now it's a so Nathan Lucy taking on Flores. And Flores trying to get on top of him right here. And Flores in good position, trying to get him flipped over. And it looks like he's got him down. Lucy trying to flip over or get that bridge. And Flores all over him here, just trying to get him down. And he's got him in a position, and Flores picks up the pinfall victory. And he'll be taking on Valenzuela in the 195-pound final as he defeats Nathan Lucy here. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the 220-pound semifinal right now. We've got Adrian Ramirez taking on Rayshawn Wynn. Ramirez out of Moody, Wynn out of King. And deadlocked here at the very start. So both participants here deadlocked. We're coming up on 30 seconds to go here between Wynn and Ramirez. 220-pound semifinal. As they're locked up here in the center of the mat. Both just jockeying for position here. And that's going to do it here for round number 1 in the 220-pound semifinal. And let's move over to the other 220-pound semifinal between Santiago Gonzalez and Jonathan Gonzalez. Santiago Gonzalez at Corpus Christi Carroll Blue, Jonathan Gonzalez in the white of Ray. And we are nearing the end of round number 1. Looks like we'll be coming to the intermission with all the semifinals nearly completed. Believe we'll have an intermission for a little while. Now let's move over. We've got Wynn with Ramirez down. Ramirez turns over on his belly here. And we're going to score a near fall for Wynn. He's going to get on the board 3-0 here. Early in the second round. So we'll keep it right here a little bit as we see Wynn becoming the aggressor in this match after a dead heat after the first 2 minutes. And both competitors to their feet. Wynn locked up, going for a takedown of the legs into that far corner of the mat. Now we're going to reset back to the start position. And we got an escape here by Ramirez. He's going to be awarded a point. And Ramirez getting in that top position, and he's going to score some points there. And we're at a dead heat, 3-3. And he almost got Wynn down there, but Wynn able to turn around back on his belly. But here we have Ramirez on top. And Ramirez trying to flip Wynn over here. And he does, and Wynn with the bridge. Wynn trying to bridge out, near fall there. But Ramirez has got Wynn down, and Wynn fighting to get turned over, and Ramirez trying to impose himself here to try to score that pinfall. And he does. And he moves on to the 220-pound final there as he doing a good job of using his weight there at the end. And we are through round number 2, and we're pretty deadlocked here for the most part between Santiago Gonzalez and Jonathan Gonzalez. Jonathan Gonzalez from Ray with the 1-0 advantage in the points. And we are starting here in round number 3. And about 30 seconds into this bout here. Here we go, coming up on a minute. And Jonathan Gonzalez trying to get Santiago Gonzalez down. And Jonathan Gonzalez nearly got Santiago over, and he gets the pinfall. And he'll be moving on to the 220-pound final. And let's move over to mat number 1. 3 more bouts left here in this first part of this 15-5A meet. And deadlocked here, 30 seconds left in this first round match, 285 semifinal. Jacob Cates versus David Trevino. Cates from Corpus Christi King, Trevino from West.
We will take about a 30-minute lunch break afterwards and then get back to it.
So after these last 2 matches here, both in session. Right now I'm at 2. We got Andres Rivera versus Matthew Rosas in the 285. Both semifinals here. So Westaco East's David Trevino taking on Jacob Cates here. We're through round 1 and deadlocked in a scoreless heat. So And we're going to move over here as we got Rosas securing the pinfall over Rivera. And he's jazzed up to get that victory. And he's going to move on to the finals. To meet the winner of this match here. And 285 pound semifinal between Cates and Trevino. And right now, it's a 1-0 advantage for Cates in the points. And we're midway through round number 2. Oh, and brutal takedown there from Cates as Trevino got back to his feet, and Cates getting that back ankle grabbed, and right now Cates in control in this top position over Trevino. A couple of juniors doing battle here in the 285 division. And that's the end of round number 2. So we are going to start round 3, 2 minutes to go, and it's a 1-point difference between these two competitors. The winner going to be taking on the Rosas and from Ray in the 285-pound semifinal. So Trevino in the start position here. And Cates to his feet. And he gets the point there on the escape. So now it's 2-0 in favor of Cates. And Trevino trying to get some sort of positioning, but Cates just standing his ground, and Cates going over the top here. And good job there of evading by Trevino. And inside of a minute to go here, and it's a 2-0 lead for Cates. And Trevino breaking off here, and it's a 2-0 advantage for Cates in the points. And we're inside of 30 seconds to go here. And Trevino needs to make a move, going for the legs here. And getting cut off here as he goes to the far left of the mat. And then the whistle blows. 19 seconds to go here. And Trevino needs to make something happen here in the last few seconds. Going for the legs, and he's going to get cut off there by Cates. And Cates getting in that top position, going to look to secure as he's going to get scored 2 more points there. And he's going to claim victory here, 4-0 over Trevino. And a hard-fought bout by both of them, but Cates just too imposing of a figure here for Trevino, and that's going to do it here from this first half of the meet. We're going to take about a half-an-hour break here, and then we're going to get going. So we'll take lunch, and then we'll be back here in about 1 o'clock. Keep it here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back here in about 30 minutes. See you guys soon.